on the C stream with the two casters in the animal shirts.
Oh, that's true. Here. We got prepared for this.
We'll see here how it works.
Sorry, we predicted this. I mean.
Yeah, we did. We'll see actually how it works for Gaimin Gladiators as we get underway with game number 1.
Oh, good luck with vegan, he says, right?
Of course, we have got maybe,
Tofu and celery are both vegans, right?
And their first time major attendee, so lots of new fans here probably don't know that. But I'm sure we still have lots of #Tofu big fans in the chat. Shout out to you guys for joining.
I actually said that to him the other day, and he smiled at me. And, well, I broke up my girlfriend afterwards. He swayed. He swayed me.
All right, so this ward, not going to likely be scouted too early. It was placed under the cover of smoke, so that ought to be okay. TSM, of course, well aware, however, of GG's location. Casual little wolf just sitting here next to Dubu. They're trying to check for wards, but TSM in position to make sure that's not going to be a possibility here.
30 seconds to battle.
All right, let's see. Let's look at some of the key points. All right, so for now, I don't think Gaimin Gladiators really takes an early engagement that well. You're still up against Sench. I mean, she's still strong at level 1. You can just go for the heal and tank whatever they throw at you.
Gonna be a slight miss ping by Dota2. Ward, of course, currently chilling here right next to Celery. He's got no way to really confirm it, but they've got an inkling where that ward is in the mid lane.
And it seemed, look at this, Dubu. He knows how to play Eng. If you've ever watched Dubu's streams, he'll tell you, right? But the way you play Eng is you win your lane, and then you just try to distract the enemy team as much as possible afterwards. So that's the way. Doesn't really matter if you get creeps or not at some point. It's just about tanking spells.
I believe that was a camp blocked as well. Quinn has had his mid lane camp blocked. No, they were checking for the ward, and it's just going to be out of range there.
So they're running... Oh, is the Chen offlane? So is the strategy to go and overwhelm the enchant with the creeps? That's interesting. The Kunkka is a very good hero against both the Chen and the Lycan, obviously because lane clear. So I'm interested by this strategy. There's the enchant level 1 just to deal with the wolves, and you take it back. That's the plan by Celery. There is a lower cooldown, especially in the early levels for Holy Persuasion, and enchant at best has still 1 second cooldown more.
Celery quite happy with this. The vegan power here.
Yep.
As he looks to beat into Tomato.
Oh, right. Because he's friends with the wolves, right? So he gives them extra damage.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. That is why you guys should be vegan if you want to play Dota as well. Celery didn't do it just because of, real life issues.
Dubu already pretty low, but of course might end up getting that next point in the attendance just to be topped up and match the ceiling potential of Celery.
That's the question as well we had when we were talking about this game, like what is the Eng build?
Yeah.
Because the enchant got heavily nerfed, you guys didn't know, in the sense that now there's a max level to the creeps in every single level. You have the issue of the Holy Persuasion, of course, as we said, lower cooldown than enchant, especially in the early levels, there's a big difference. And that means that Celery pretty much has to wait for Enchanters to take any creep and Nullifier. So Dubu, I'm assuming, is going to deviate into Nature's Attendance and Impetus build.
Which I think I'd like to see that, right? I think for the most part, it's going to be a battle over the wolves. It's not quite the Boar Wars, but the Wolf War still kind of rolls off the tongue a bit.
Yeah. That's why I was a bit concerned, right? Because, I mean, if Chen goes with his army, he could just retake things with Holy Persuasion. It's not like the enchant's going to destroy him.
Point and enchants right there.
Okay, that's normal. We'll see what the third point is. That's the big decider, right? Will he completely go for the enchant? Let's look at the other builds or the other lanes as well. As in the mid lane, Quinn, yeah, he's doing what we said he would, right? He's winning his lane. Pango, obviously not the best laner against Lesh, but still already 3 last hits ahead, a couple of denies as well.
Yeah, Boom is going to struggle a little bit. Shields crash here, of course, very useful towards getting that CS. But the concern is here that split Earth, even at the early levels, could set up for your death. That damage reduction not going to do a lot for this eventual. It seems to be lane domination build 1-0-2 here for Quinn. We'll see when he decides to start putting some points back into the Edict to threaten some tower damage.
Yeah, that's the big question with Leshrac. How many points of Edict can I get away with in the lane? Because obviously, as you said, that means tower damage. And Pango do want to rotate if possible, especially on that 6. As Dubu's really struggling against this Chen. This has been hell for him.
Oh, Moon Meanders blocking at least 1 stack here.
Nice.
And he's going to be able to steal this bounty. So he's scouting these stacks, so pretty useful move to make here. Underlord, of course, completely topped off as he's been tethered by the Wisp. All alone now, Duracho's going to make a play. Tofu as well, hitting with a little bit of the Illuminate, but nothing too severe here.
I think this lane is the one lane where it's like, I mean, you're supposed to win in the sense that Underlord can't be kicked out of this lane, right? He's going to be fine against this Sven. Cuddle can't do much either. It's really just going to be a farming lane, ideally for Bryle.
Yeah, and talk about regen in this bottom lane, right? Dubu still with that points in the in the Nature's Attendance. Timado eventually going to have access to the X, so he can even top himself up. I mean, it might be a while, Avo, until we get some first blood.
Yeah, that's been the case of the tournament, you know? The previous game we were watching... Oh, wait, second point, it's an enchant. All right, he's coming into the enchant. I wonder what that's going to be for Dubu. He did go for the Blightstone as well, so he's deciding to just use his hero against Celery. For now, it's working. That Tidebringer actually brought Celery quite low, and with the enchant they set up for the Torrent, that's going to be the first blood. So you casters cursed him, my dude.
I did. Well, you know, in my defense, it was about 30 seconds. I think some people would consider that quite a while.
Yes, time is relative, Richie. Yeah. But in this case, that was a really good use of the enchant. They realized there's no point in taking creeps with it, honestly. Use it for the slow instead. And good use of the Blightstone to enhance that Tidebringer damage afterwards.
Yep, Celery's then going to refill the bottle. Best thing he can do. Drop another Sentry. That one's also going to miss the ward, unfortunately, which would have been timing out here in just 30 seconds anyhow. Quinn 1-1-3 then on the Lesh build.
Okay. So, I mean, he wants to commit to making sure that Pango does not have a good lane. The Pango... I guess could potentially rotate, but there's not really easy kills in either lane, right? Kunkka is a tanky boy, so is the Underlord, especially with an IO. You could rotate to kill Enchantress, but why would you, right?
Yeah. Celery taking a bit of a beating. Great Hurricane there for Celery. X-Mark will bring him right on back, and shaky shock as much as you like here from the Harpy Stormcrafter. That kill still going towards Tomato.
Okay, and a factor that we didn't really consider, but we should have talked about, is the fact that Enchant does have one extra level on the creeps over the levels that you get on that Holy Persuasion, which means he was able to get that Wildwing Ripper, and Chen could not take it back.
Mid, Swashbuckle on a second. Quinn, Split Earth level 1, very unlikely to catch him there. The Moon Manor was there, just to give him the mana in case they wanted to.
No. But TSM is looking very good for now in the lanes. Honestly, reminds me of Quincy a bit. Win lanes.
Yeah, he's making a play here for Bryle, but doesn't really have a stunner nearby with Tofu still off stacking and pulling.
This is one of the weaknesses in their draft, obviously. Your supports are both... Yeah. Well, Chen is a bit of a pusher, and he does win lanes a little bit, but there's no kill potential on the supports. It's all on the carries. And obviously that means that they need some gold to be able to make these kills happen.
No, Bryle avoids the Illuminates, so he'll continue sieging very slowly but surely. Still nothing here for the Gaimin Gladiators in terms of what they've been able to find on the map. When the first power rune is going to be the regen for himself. So still not an action rune. Usually looking for the haste or the invis to try and get the jump on one of those side lanes. And with only 1 point here in the Edict, it does kind of free up Pango to potentially, farm some stacks. As it seems like he's maybe starting to see what he can do.
Yeah, you got to make use of this, right? You know they're not going to push your lane. Oh, no, Quinn is taking the stacks.
This is big.
It's a huge deal. So this is something a lot of teams talk about, the idea of choking the enemy team, right? Leaving them without options. We said this. Pango wants to rotate or do something outside the lane right now. He can't really rotate to get kills. Instead, he's going to have to farm stacks. Bottom lane, Timado, they're going to try to go for him. The body block from the Wolves is good, but it's not going to be enough damage. Another body block from Timado. No stuns, however, and Timado is going to the trees round. You do have vision of him still. Here comes the TP. It is going to be Dubu trying to help us carry. Torrent to protect him a bit further.
So
Timado in the trees. They just don't have damage. They turn the Harpy back in here.
Armlet.
And Timado, thanks to the Armlet, is back healthy and actually looking for aggression here on Celery. Does he have vision? He does not. So he can't cancel that TP.
Yep, and in the meantime, a kill top lane as Lesh does rotate through the jungle, finds a free kill onto the Coddle. Coddle did get his move speed nerfed, actually, so that was maybe going to be a little bit of a difference maker there. Yeah,
he's an easier kill than he used to be, especially without that ultimate now. And Gaimin Gladiators, we're seeing the issues we talked about in the draft a little bit, which is, you just have a slow carry right now. Sven can't really do much. TSM can move faster in the map. And despite your Chen, because he got cancelled, honestly, once you got the level 2 enchant, it seems like TSM is putting the pressure, leaving the enemy team without plays.
For now, Dyrachio still not yielding the tower too easily, eager to continue farming. He's not yet evacuated to the jungle. Not really a lot of camps there stacked for him, so... And this is perhaps the more efficient move.
I mean, that's huge. The stealing of stacks by Quinn is actually going to determine this early game, honestly. It stopped Pango. It stopped Sven to a large degree. Coddle feels like he did nothing for the past 10 minutes because of this.
Quinn's pretty big. He's already above 4K. I'll switch back to net worth here as we can see him going yet again into the jungle. He's just removing farm away from this Pango. They're going to try and give him the boot. There is a ward here scouting it.
They're fighting on the Rolling Thunder. Tofu joins as well. Quinn has been stunned. Duracho joining in. Just enough mana thanks to the treads for that stun, but Duracho's dying. He has to get away. Boom has to finish off Quinn, but Quinn is going to barely survive for now. Here comes the help from the Lycan though, and Ace will clear shop as Moonmeander and Quinn both fall. What a nice shapeshift there from Ace.
Yeah. That's a big commitment, though. All 5 heroes from Gaimin Gladiators do show up. In the meantime, Dubu, I mean, they did nerf this Dark Troll Summoner, but still throwing Skellies immediately at the tower, forcing the Fortify. Clears up a lot of space for Tomato down bottom. But yeah, a big kill there onto the Quinn. Leshrac is going to put a bit of a slow in his stride.
Yeah, it was a big deal, especially because you did something with Boom early, right? Besides farming the lane. So you gave him an option, you gave him a play. That's a big deal for Boom here. The mid laner for Gaimin Gladiators.
Celery might be in some trouble, though.
Yeah, Celery. He's most likely accepting death.
Yep.
Yep. Not much you can do. He's vegan, so he actually can't hurt other people.
It's true. He wouldn't hurt a fly, literally.
That is actually why they have to pick Chen and Coddle, right? They can't pick supports with stunts because they don't like getting kills.
Yeah, that's actually, you know, even though he wholly persuades them, and you can make the argument there, he's taking them under the control from, you know, don't do that. If let the wolf be a wolf.
Exactly, right? If the wolf kills someone, it's not up to you. They have no conscience.
All right, 3 points here, and that Firestorm is going to do a lot versus the creeps. Ace has been unable to find that bottom tower, but still makes the rotation preemptively. This is going to give Boom a little bit more time to leisurely farm up his Diffusal Blade, which he nearly has now online.
And this is the classic where you run something like a Kunkka or like a Lifestealer. What are the few carries Troll before that win their lane? And you're like, oh, I can actually take a free tower down bottom because nobody can fight against Kunkka this early. Quinn joins them. They take over the triangle.
Here they come. They want this Ancient stack.
I don't know if you can contest it.
It's risky.
GG.
It's risky. There's a Rolling Thunder. I think Diffusal. Oh, it's not yet delivered, though. So Quinn stealing those stacks earlier is not going to end up making the difference this time around.
Right.
As GG will reinforce, and that's going to be Duracho. It's still clearing the stack. Didn't stack a 3rd time, though, because of that sentry blocking the camp.
That's a good move by TSM though. When you take that offlane tier 1, you know, if you open the rules of basic Dota, taking the offlane tier 1 is the last of your priorities. But if you get a free one, you gotta take advantage of it somehow. Meanwhile, Dubu does the psychopath strategy and just sends creeps until he takes that mid lane tier 1. And now you've opened up the triangle to be ganked. And TSM is gonna go for a smoke, hoping for this. In fact, their target seems to be Duracho instead.
Right now, Dubu's down mid though.
Yeah, I mean, Dubu's not that big a kill. The Sven would be, but he's TP's in time because he sees no help for Dubu and things. They're probably coming for me.
That's a bit sus. Bryle continuing to push top lane, has a wagon here. Are GG really going to give up all their towers this early? The ones with the team with the Chen, the team with the Lycan, I really didn't expect to be this team to be the first one to lose all their outer towers. Right now, Tofu, big fan, the only one up here to try and defend. Of course, going for this Urn eventually into the Vessel upgrade.
I mean, it's the team with the Sven as well, right? That kind of changed the tempo of their draft. They had to win their lanes to make the Lycan work, and that lane was, the Enchantress worked out for them. She did what she had to do. She won the lane. She can rest easy now.
Oh, and you know what I also really like, actually, from TSM? I've been seeing this a little bit more, especially during the Gamers Without Borders events. Moonmeander with a very interesting build. He's got 3 points right now in the Spirits, which is significant damage, actually, at this stage of the game. Most Wisps will kind of just max the overcharge and bounce between that and Tether, even completely ignoring Spirits until like level 11, just to increase the farming potential of their carry. Not the case this time around. So the damage is fairly significant on these explosions.
Yeah, you have so much kill potential on this team right now early, right? And you know, like, you have good push, but you probably can't take it to you too early. You're looking for ganks right now. You're looking to threaten towers that are early and probably set yourself in the triangle and say, all right, come farm it. We dare you. We'll fight you.
Dubu's just always getting these creeps, man. Quinn with the Invis rune has a Yule Scepter. Would look to try and set something up onto Boom, who with his fresh Diffusal Blade, now that's going to be the go time. Using that Swashbuckle in a lot of trouble. Does at least skid off a little bit of damage resistance, but not nearly enough, Abo. They bring in even Tomato for the kill.
Oh, Duracho, they see you on the ward. He really had to take that ward, apparently. And they finally find him because of Bryle's rotation. They stun him with Split Earth. He's still stuck in that pit of malice. Duracho gets the Stormhammer off, finally getting away with that Warcry extra movement speed. Still has the Mask of Madness. Might need to use it, but he acknowledges he's going to be sent back. In the end, they lose 2 cores here. TSM looking strong. Stand-ins are not. They're here to win it.
Absolutely. 3K hour lead is pretty big for 13 minutes in. Ace is able to collect the kill on the Wisp, who relocated back all by himself. But even the tower is not going to be given away for free for Quinn, as he even clears most of the Skellies.
Yeah, they have Underlord and Leshrac. Timado solos that tower up top.
This is huge.
All the tier 1s are taken. Map controls in TSM's favor. And GG, they know they got to do something, so they go for a smoke here. Of course, the creeps are being revealed.
But look, Ryle's immediately down bottom, right? He TPs here because he's able to use the Fiend's Gate to go back to the fountain and regen. They're going to make a play for him. He's completely alone. Not many TPs here for him. Timado's not going to make the rotation, and this is going to be plenty of damage now into our Underlord. He can't even get off the pit. That'll certainly be the tier 1 tower here for GG, their first one of the game.
They do force a huge commitment, though, which means that you gave a lot of space to the rest of your cores to farm. Obviously, particularly Quinn here, who's been taking advantage of this early game.
And you can see, Avo, just how much GG think that this game is kind of sliding out of control. They actually scanned the Roche pit. They thought they were going to lose Roche for that.
I mean, you're up against Radiant, you're up against a fast team. I do see Medallion being built soon on Dubu, so they're thinking similar things as well, right? They're thinking, if we can take a Roche here, if they just ignore us for like a minute or so, we'll just sneak it.
Yeah, still very possible, right? Sven not yet in fighting shape. He's going to go for the Echo Saber, could disassemble that for BKB eventually, right, of course, to get that online a bit faster, but that's still going to be another 3k gold, and he wants the Blink Dagger before that. Can't blame him, right, with the amount of kite that they could potentially get versus you. So it's going to be a while before this Sven's ready to really show up and fight.
Yeah, that Sven made a huge difference for them, honestly. And then now it's up to Ace to see what he can accomplish with the Lycan. He is going to be going for the Helm of the Overlord.
Oh.
And no Wraithback on Sven this time. Or the Lycan this time. Okay, let's see. Quinn finds Pango. Gonna go here for Boom. Gets a Swashbuckle off in time. Now the Rolling Thunder. The X is not going to do much. Dubu seems to be the target, but they don't really want Dubu. They want something better.
Oh,
he's near the cliff. Now the Pit of Malice on top of that, making it difficult for Ace to initiate onto them. Duracho's actually stuck. He's helped by the Hand of God, but for how long? Duracho is actually being attacked by Dubu. The creeps are hurting him as well. They send him back into the torrent. He's going to go down. Duracho's dead. Quinn does go really low, but he will fall to the Chen army instead. Celery committing to this, getting the stun onto the Io. They want to re-engage as well. Boom is decided to fight this. The Ghost Ship will get him the run buff and kill Celery along the way. But Boom, he has 54% damage resist. He fears no man. He fears no Kunkka, but he does fear water. He fears the Enchantress, and he's going to go down. Ace lost a shapeshift, sorry. He can't really fight as well. He can only deal with Bryle, who's the slowest here right now. Dubu will just TP. There's no stuns left because the creeps from Chen can't get close to him.
What an amazing fight. That was GG and TSM using all the regen. I mean, that's a pretty early fight, 15 minutes. Sven making it out of that. I mean, the heals, that mechanism timing there from Chen, he literally played the Uno reverse card there as they did. He popped that Io mech heal, which is huge there to save Dubu. Great positioning by him here on the cliff.
Yeah, that was really good. In the end, though, what ended up winning it for GG, though, was the acknowledgement that they could re-engage despite having no ultimates. Like, it makes sense that TSM thought, oh, there's no shapeshift, there's no Rolling Thunder, we can totally beat them.
Oh, yeah. And mech's such a huge item. They line up for a big swashbuckle there. Again, you can refresh that basically with the coddle. I mean, it's just a massive fight. Love to see it.
And even the Illumina was kind of big towards the end, right? And also, I love that Celery chose to do, in the middle of a fight, stay in the middle of the fight to tank a bunch of damage, right? And decided, you know what, I'm a 5, I'm going to die here no matter what. I will distract them so my team can re-engage. That was a really courageous call by Celery.
Oh, yeah. Love it. I mean, the mech reveal is like, for these kinds of supports, it's fundamentally changes these early fights.
Yep.
I think during the Kiev Major, when Phoenix heal, hold that thought, actually, they're going to look for Boom. This time, only gets 36% damage resist. It's not enough to get him out. Even cancel the TP there, so Tofu is just going to sit around and farm the next wave. But I remember Kyle making a point about how, like, you know, you've got ways to amp your damage, right? You got ways to amp your healing.
Yep.
But it's just like healing is like pure, right? It doesn't get reduced by anything except for Vessel, right? Yep. And it just feels so good, especially early on when the HPs are a bit lower. That's why Pipe Barrier is so strong, but you never see like a 60-minute pipe, for example.
Exactly. Yeah, you're right. Healing is always just good, man. And some teams really figured this out well. I mean, you have a Coddle and the Chen this team, so the healing is pretty high. And obviously the Vlads from a Lycan also came into play there.
A Try and Roche. Yeah, and again, because some Chen changes have occurred, not only do you get that big old Hand of God heal initially, but you get a heal of equivalent value over 10 seconds. So it's a lot of healing per second.
That's true, actually. That's very true. And that did come into play a little bit because that was more of a scrappy fight, right? It wasn't the, oh, we can burst you down with a Kunkka damage and Lesh coming in. And in fact, a lot of the damage from TSM is more DOT.
I don't quite know about this play, though. I don't know if Boom can really go for this.
If
Duracho
they get
has got strength level 2. No BKB quite yet. He's 700 gold away from it. They got Rolling Thunder, though.
You do have a lucky shot. Oh, they're going to kill Dubu.
All right, easy.
All right, bye-bye Enchantress. And then this scan is like, guys, I think they're at Roche. I'm pretty sure they are, TSM.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, you can't contest it, and GG will be able to take that first Aegis. Boom is going to be the one taking it. So this indicates, because Pango's not the one hitting towers, that they don't really care about the high ground or anything like that. You just want to fight with them.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Duracho, I mean, this is really big for Gaimin Gladiators. Right? We were talking about how this game was looking a little bit out of shape for them.
They recovered.
With Aegis, full recovery here. Boom, nearly almost online and activated. This Sven is going to get more than enough time to farm the BKB. In fact, he's already have it if he just wants to disassemble that Echo Saber.
Oh, Timado?
Radiant's middle
Okay,
tower.
no. Timado checked the Ancient with that Torrent.
And
told him he shouldn't go up.
And the Gladiator is still quite strong. In fact, I believe they've got eyes on here. Quinn and Moon Meander. Relocate is at the ready now. Moon Meander's going to try and send him home, but they immediately interrupt it. They even get the slow here onto Quinn. He's going to try and TP himself out and should make it out just in the nick of time.
Okay, Dubu was being a little bit of a ward there, so seeing if the rest of TSM could actually join them, they would side against it. But we did just get the BKB on Quinn. That's going to be a big deal, as he won't be stopped by the Rolling Thunder like he was in the last fight.
No, he will not.
Or the Illuminate, which actually dealt a huge amount of damage.
Very true. Or that Vessel, or I mean, this damage output on Coddle is pretty crazy.
Talk about that Vessel, but they say, actually, why are you hitting my Brile? I'm going to defend this mid laner, says Quinn, as he graciously gave me his position.
Yeah. Boom just kind of rolls around a little bit, but not much he could do against that BKB of the Lesh, and instead it's going to be Ace and his army pushing top lane.
Brile? He goes up as only with Tofu here. Only with Dubu here. Dubu realizes this is not where he wants to be. He's being body blocked a bit. He does take the
Ace jukes
Centaur.
him.
It's been good jukes. Quinn will die by Duracho though. He was caught along the way. I think Dubu is in a pickle.
Radiant's courage.
Yep. And they decided they're gonna not let him mature.
See, that seemed like a kind of a half-baked plan there for TSM. I was expecting some of those global relocate plays to try and take awkward fights, and you can tell Ace, without his shapeshift, wasn't really super comfortable with the idea of fighting there.
Yes.
But
yeah, that was odd. I think it was also a really good play like Gaimin Gladiators though, because they noticed exactly what was happening there, and essentially they interrupted Quinn's rotation.
Yep. Right,
and they caught him mid-rotation. There's nothing he can do against Duracho solo, and he just got destroyed. And of course now we're seeing Duracho also hitting a speak with the BKB, Mask Command, and Echo Saber all online. Once you get that Shadow Blade, he's good to go.
Yeah, exactly. Getting the catch potentially here on the Lesh and blowing up before he can actually get his BKB up, before Wisp can pump out the heals, is going to leave TSM with some very serious damage issues in the fight. Quinn is absolutely crucial in these engagements.
There's a smoke here by Gaimin Gladiators as well. Seeing that they have now the upper hand, they're trying to create more space. Shapeshift is up here for Ace. He also went for the Hyperstone, by the way, which really ups the Lycan's damage.
Yeah, building into the AC, right? That's going to be a great item for the Sven. Boom still with 2 minutes left at this age. Just eager to pick a fight, but TSM reading the map well. Are not going to really be showing anywhere but the top lane currently. Although they might still find Quinn. The ward's going to be scouted here. Celery, in the trees. Tomato's going to go fishing here with the Torrent. Won't find him. Tofu pushing back Quinn as Dubu TPs to the tier 2.
Oh, Celery looked the wrong way. I think they wanted to push him to the high ground. And they forced him instead in front of the enemies, but they were so shocked by Celery's appearance, they decided to let him go.
Duracho, he's chugging along on these items, man. He's really, really getting there.
That Silver Edge is going to be crucial here.
I think he fought the Crystallis first. He finds Tomato. There's going to be the Tether. Great Disarm comes out first. The Root. Duracho shrugs it off with the BKB. It's being kited a bit here as Ace now joining the fight with the Drum Charges active. Brile tanking quite nicely as in rolls in. Boom. He's going to find one, make it two on a Dubu. That's going to be the first drop of this engagement for TSM. As Boom now trapping Brile underneath the tower. Moon Meander giving him the heal. Still conserves the relocate here. As three trapped inside the pit. The heal now from DG's side here. As the Chen trying to keep Ace alive, failing to do so. And now even Duracho brought back and killed. Boom still fighting though. The fight's so long here, Avo.
Yeah, the Kunkka is actually out of mana. Now helped by the Io a little bit. Timado can still deal with Boom. And in fact, he will take his first life. But Timado has to run away before he loses his only life. As he still has the Vessel on top of the relocate. Will bring him back to the fountain. Timado will live. Brile might not be so lucky as the Illuminate does finish him off.
Oh, but Quinn's not done.
Yeah, he's looking for Boom, Richie.
Whoa. And he does get off that roll-up. He's up to the hill. Quinn can't stop the TP. And it seems like Tofu a bit too fast. Or is he? With vision, Tomato, Moomiander giving chase. But yeah, Tofu, he's very fast. 461 move speed. He is out of there. I'm loving these fights, man. All the heals, they're so long.
Essentially, is who gets the heal off in the most clutch moment, surprising you, right? I mean, even that extra mana that the Kunkka got kind of surprised them, right? The IO with Magic Wand, I think it was, that gave him back to enough just to get those extra torrents off.
But let me talk about this helm, right? This helm upgrade.
Sure, let's go.
Because
as we see the replay.
Yeah, Vlad's did get some really nice buffs. It's been creeping and creeping up on these buffs for a couple of years
creeping
now.
Indeed, yes.
And it's just felt so amazing. The 731C further buffed it. I think the biggest thing is now the radius increases when you upgrade it. So your life stealing off your right clicks. You're getting healed by Illuminate the whole time. Chen as well, just by standing there, not to mention Hand of God and Mech. I mean, the sustain is out of control.
Yeah. I gotta commend also Bryle, man. He's not even playing in his own position. He's not playing a mid hero because you don't play Underlord mid. And he got the pit of malice of his life, man. Really stuck them in. Well, I mean, they've been using the pit of malice both as an initiation tool and as a zone out tool, which I love as well. He stopped Ace's initiation properly there, and he made it really difficult for Gaming Gladiators to propose the fight. And TSM, they know, right? Once you get the enemy team once, you gotta push your advantage. That's the NA way. That's what they're gonna do with the smoke. No farming for them.
No farming. A little bit more damage mitigation now online, by the way, for our Chen. That's going to be Celery picking up the full, oh my goodness, the full Pipe of Insight, pardon me. So that barrier going to go a long way. Oh my, I thought they just relocated on him. That Celery rechanneling the army. The Skelly's going to work alongside Boom.
Dubu has decided it's time for me to die for the team to have a little bit of space. Or maybe not. I think... The enemy team is a bit scared because they didn't see the smoke, right? So
it's a hard fight. It's a hard fight for TSM because they don't have control of the outpost. Bryle's going to stick around here, and I think that's Boom's cue to go in.
Oh, but they have to relocate. Dubu's the first target. He's a bad target. Instead, Bryle should be stunned a little bit. Boom, I hope you have an escape plan. He does. He's just going to roll away.
Yep. Okay.
They didn't waste the relocate.
Yeah, but now the relocate's going to end up going back. Moonman are not too far, and Tofu rooted up. Goes ship keel hauled as Quinn stunned up one. Sriracha getting in some damage here, but Quinn activates the BKB. Will be able to walk away. Nice stomp there from the Centaur Conqueror. Does find two. As GG still very eager now to look for the fight, Abo.
Yeah, but Moomiander is back. And now, Timado, okay, he doesn't have the tether on him, though, which means he's going to be killed quickly. Bryle, that blinding light did not stop that channeling, and Moomiander will die as well. As they tethered into the Lesh. Instead, it was Timado who was destroyed. Now Gaming Gladiators get a free tier 3 off this because the God's Strength is stalled for a little bit.
Yeah, God's Strength lasting a lot longer. Well, it's been this Sven for a while now, so... But that's a big fight.
You can always play timing, right?
Oh,
Dubu. What an offensive force stop by Tofu! And Dubu almost got punished for that. Luckily, the Pit of Malice is there to save him. And in fact, it might even punish Boom, who went too far. And Quincy, they take what they can get. In fact, Quinn wants to lead this. There's no tether to help him this time. Quinn up in the air. He goes back down, gets the stun off. Quinn walking off. He wants to get full damage against Ace. There's the force staff. That's not going to save him. Instead, it's going to kill him. And another Pit of Malice puts the Sven in a pickle. Duracho just trying to get away, but it's perfectly placed. He has to go behind the trees, and that takes way too long. He's going to die to that Firestorm residual damage.
That's a big engagement. I mean, I was just about to commend GG, really, for having such patience in that team fight, waiting for the BKB to run out, waiting for the Wisp to kind of get his tether to go, or sorry, his relocate to go away.
Yeah.
Re-isolating there. I mean, great patience, but going up to the high ground and once again getting drawn into these long out fights. I mean, this is still an Underlord with this Rod of Atos, which you can just root people forever, seemingly. You know, his Atrophy are doing a lot of work, really. Not to mention the Crimson Guard is going to exacerbate that issue. I believe it does work on these swashbuckle procs, doesn't it? Which is going to reduce the damage, not of course from Diffusal.
I'm actually not sure about that.
Yeah.
I mean, the strikes for swashbuckle? I'm
not sure. For the active guard block. I can't imagine there'd be, well, maybe if it works like that, it's be fantastic for that. Yeah. But either way, still great against the right clicks coming through from the Chen army. Allows you to basically ignore them.
For sure.
As well as the Sven.
Yeah, exactly. Like, even to a degree, you know, the Lycan army, right? There's wolves and everything. You're getting rid of a lot. The Crimson Guard is a really good idea, and also makes Bryle kind of unkillable. In fact, if Moomiander had tethered Timado there, I don't even think Timado dies. But it makes sense that Moon decided to go for the Lesh instead. I do love, though, that TSM has taken every small opportunity to make these plays. A lot of these plays are not the I guess, orthodox, by the book Dota. You know, you don't fight when there's 3 down, you just stay really back, but they understand GG's weaknesses, which is if stuns are on the cores, that means a core has to overcommit to try to get the kill. And if that's the case in the high ground, you probably lose them. And that's exactly what happened to Boom there.
Yeah, and check out what Moonmeander's got in his quick buy. He's going for the other Vlad's upgrade, which is going to be the Wraith Pact. Kind of a weird item. Did get buffed a little bit in this patch, nudged again. It's oh, they're gonna fight here first at TSM. They're just gonna smoke up to the high ground, and they see Celery already.
Yeah, sorry, brought back. This will be the first kill. Ryle even joins this. Another great force staff. Another force staff actually to Celery. But I think Celery's already dead. However, Duracho re-engages, activates the BKB. He's been disarmed, Richie.
Yeah, now Dubu's going to take a bit of a punch as Ace jumping right back down in, but it seems like GG figuring out they don't like the looks of this fight for good reason is Ace, and now Boom jumping in, but they're going to control Ace. Even the Illuminate heal's not enough. Boom trying to roll his way out of town, but Tomato is so fast, buffed by Moon Meander. Quinn, however, slowed by the Diffusal Inhibit, and won't be able to get any more catches here. That's TSM just placing down the ward and taking a great fight.
They're taking some really good fights. I mean, this is, once again, you go up to the high ground, and I understand GG thinks we can fight this. It's our high ground, but they have multiple wards in this area. They had a previous ward, as you can see over here in the middle of the jungle, right? Which allowed them to take this fight easily with a smoke and even place a second one to secure it. So even if GG had actually dewarded the previous ward, they still had full vision.
Yep.
And now Roche is free for them.
It's so fast. Second Roche, of course, Aegis, Ag Shard, no longer any cheese. But no need for it here on this time around, as Quinn will actually conserve the Aegis. I believe Ag Shard.
He took the shard, right? I think.
I believe he
Quinn
did. Yeah. So this is going to give you the echoes on the Split Earth.
That is such a stupid upgrade, man. That is a really good upgrade for their lineup because you already have the zone out of the Underlord. Now you combine it with the zone out of the Split Earth. GG has to be really careful with where they tread. They might not be playing against techies, but the battlefield is a minefield right now.
Absolutely. I mean, especially because I think you have probably one of the best heroes to combo with this, which is the Underlord. I mean, you have just continuous lockdown. You do not want to be in this pit.
And Kunkka, my guy, he actually gets stunned once. You set up the X, he finally gets rid of the stuns. Boom, back into the Split Earth.
And not Boom the Pango, Boom you explode. I mean, Duracho, his BKB down to 6 seconds. Boom. We were talking about how, you know, this go time for GG really is going to be in this long duration BKB duration where he doesn't have to worry too much about being kited, where he just needs to find the target, get the jump, and get his damage in. It's still very possible here with the Shadowblade build he's going for, but certainly going to be a little bit more execution heavy, position heavy, and of course you're expecting, maybe hoping is a better word, that TSM make a couple positioning mistakes.
That's exactly why the Axe build right for the Sven. He knows, you know, if the battlefield is a minefield, you gotta fly. Just fly over those mines, man. And that's why the Superman Sven will make a comeback a little bit. He might consider not going for the full Silver Edge. The crit's the most important part anyway, honestly. Yeah, I mean, you would love to be able to get that break here, but you got to make a compromise, and I think the Ags might just be more important.
Agreed. Yeah, agreed.
We're getting Kai and Sanj here for Quinn, because he's realizing he always needs the IO to tank, right? So if he gets his own tank ability, finally Moon Meander can let go of this leash and maybe help him out a little bit.
Yeah, and just to very quickly, as we bring up Moon Meander, finish off my point on Wraith Pact, the item sets up a little totem with not the greatest AoE, got buffed a little bit, that can move, that reduces all damage outcome by enemies by 25% if they are in the aura. 30%, thank you for the correction.
That was the buff that it got, which actually made people think, this might be good.
The biggest issue with it is the cast range. Garbage. Garbage on the item. We've seen some coddles kind of tinker with it because of the increase in cast range in light form. True. Or we've seen tinkers do it because you used to be able to refresh if that was broken. But with the amount of global mobility you have, you know, you relocate onto the back lines, that totem's not going to be the #1 target. You're going to be going for Quinn first. You're going to be going for Tomato first, and that will leave the totem in a very interesting position as they will try and close the door here onto Duracho. He's got BKB and Blink.
I don't know about the... Okay, BKB TP. There he goes. Yeah, so on the totem as well, it probably works really well with zone-out lineups, right? Because there's just areas where you just can't go against this lineup of TSM. And if you commit too hard for the totem, they'll punish you.
And we're looking for Boom, but he, once again, just simply gonna Rolling Thunder.
Good choice.
Yep.
Don't even let them get the jump on you.
They're not looking for a fight right now. Again, all the sustain, and now not to mention, of course, this Aegis still here on the Grandmaster tier Leshrac.
Yes.
Stand-in or not, Quinn playing, we should say, a fantastic game, I'd say, so far.
Mate, he got a chance to go to the Major. I can't imagine Quinn more hyped This is like when Quinn saw Gaimin ×2.
Oh my god, I love that picture. TI7, I believe,
Yes.
TI8, just...
Or the monkey dance he did at TI10, I don't know if
Yeah.
you saw that.
Yeah.
I mean, all of Quinn's expressions of joy are
He's
bliss.
great. He's great. What's that classic piece of art, if in case you haven't seen it, the one where the guy's screaming into the void?
Oh, yeah,
That was like...
I think that's a scream, right?
That was like Quinn, but just complete joy instead of just emptiness and hollowness, which is normally what the Dota2 pros look like. Another Fiend's great.
Yes.
Bryle was really looking for the jump here. And he's got his own long duration BKB now on the Underlord.
Yeah, Bryle's like, all right, I made this gate. Nobody's using it. Wasted my time.
Useful at least to make sure that this annoying Ace army isn't able to really push down that top lane too hard.
Check what Bryle's building, by the way. He's going Basher. He saw all these Underlord players, saw Amar one day build just full carry, and they're like, you know what? We should all do that.
Oh, Quinn giving chase. He sees the Chen army. Now he sees the Chen. Seems to be more interested, to be honest, in the army, but he'll settle here for the Chen himself as Celery trying to get out of dodge, slowed. Oh, a Hurricane countered by the Force Staff. He's really wasting some time here as Quinn does not want to be stunned by the Centaur even lifting it. The nice split here, the Marine split against Terran. As Celery trying to save as many of his allies as he can, as Ace actually starting to knock on the tier 3 tower a bit. So this is just GG wasting time, honestly. But again, TSM, they're so global. Tomato able to clear a wave. He's immediately back.
There, Quinn did a little bit of the Genghis Khan technique, right? Where everyone that's shorter than him is fine. They get to live. But the tall Centaur had to die.
There can only be one four-legged hero here.
Yeah, but the small one was okay, right? His brother's fine. As Gaming Gladiators, they're just trying to waste time right now, as you mentioned. Ace is also cutting lanes. They have effective lane cutting, a lot of effective lane cutting, right? Pango, Lycan, the Chen army that you mentioned here. So you're still not out of place here. Duracho's doing a great job of utilizing the Silver Edge, which he did decide to go for. And this indicates to us, or at least to me, that Gaming Gladiators is not looking to fight anytime soon.
Couple
they're
enemies
just trying
in the
to
area, though.
delay time.
Yeah, they're going to be pinging him out.
Okay, he makes it up.
Oh, good blink. Even juked me.
Every single time that I see a carry do the juke and then go for the camp, it's like, is he gonna punish for that greed? Not the case here. He can kill Enchanter solo, but that is also something he should not do.
It's a bit risky. Oh,
He will die for it.
Almost got it on the cleave.
All right.
I just saw an Ags get purchased. I didn't quite see on who. Was that Durachio's?
He wasn't, no, because he went for Silver Edge. He's not done yet.
Okay.
Who's the Axe? Oh, Lycan.
Yeah, the Ike lane. Oh, there it is.
Oh, right, yeah. There's the late game Lycan and also Sven's Axe.
Yeah.
We got both here.
This is going to be pretty mean.
What would happen if Superman was bitten by Jacob from Twilight?
Ah, thank you.
Sorry.
I thought you meant Jacob, the production guy, is pretty nice. You know, I thought we almost...
He did bite me yesterday, but it was quite pleasant.
I see. Durachio, well, the bites up from him are not going to be too pleasant here for him. The TSM, even as the DD run is scooped up by Tomato. That'll kick it off here. Durachio on the way in. The break, the Force Staff does get Bryle out of harm's way. Boom, though, onto the backlines. He finds both supports, but Durachio just continuously being controlled. There's the Wolf Bite now from Ace, and Durachio pops the BKB, trying to go onto Bryle as Boomka again just continues to lock everyone down. Can't get through the Wisp, as now Durachio, his BKB over, will fly onto the backlines, but he's completely alone, Avo.
Yeah, Durachio's been killed. Boom, at least we'll be able to get one kill on Moonmeander, but he's out of mana as well. Doesn't have the Coddle to help him out, and what will Boom do? Swashbuckle will be available soon-ish, but it's gonna take too long. Timano will end up killing him. The Torrent sets up for this kill. Gaming Gladiators lose 2 cores there, and they only get an IO out of it. And I think, to me, Richie, that was just the... I guess I'll go on the Underlord initiation. He has an active BKB, doesn't activate God's Strength. I don't think he should have. I think he should have just backed off, honestly.
Yeah, it was going to be a really tough fight. I mean, and you can see here, the reason I'm lingering on it is the DD does really come in handy there for the Kunkka. Not to mention, of course, just how naturally tanky this Underlord is and how Force Staff's still a big problem when you're a Sven, because you can still easily just get kited around the fights.
Exactly.
I mean, this Underlord pick is really, really working for Bryle, specifically against this lineup GG are proposing. Now GG down a mid laner, down a safe laner here for 30 seconds at least. Are going to end up losing here at least one lane of barracks.
Yeah, luckily Quinn is still level 24. If it was level 25, this could have easily been, honestly, 3.
Yeah.
The bulky kind of broken, but at level 25. But for now, it's only going to be 1. TSM is very typical of majors, right? You could push it if this was DPC for an extra lane of racks, but in a major, you don't risk it. You play it safe. There is a Scythe of Vice, by the way, on Quinn, so if there wasn't enough kiting for the Sven, now there's a little bit more. one of the better ways to deal with this fan that's going to be jumping around. As you said, his team can't really help him.
No.
And
No, I mean, and Boom did such an excellent job in that fight. I mean, Wisp and Dubu basically doing nothing but just tanking. They're in the pinball zone. Not much really for them as far as activities or APM in that fight. Frustrating for Boom, frustrating for TSM, but they still end up winning that fight. Especially because that was a big moment there. I mean, sure, it might not be, what was it, the tiny wolf bite that was super strong at TI, but
or the Ursa one.
This thing is, it still hurts, man.
Yeah, but they need a target to go on, and unfortunately, Underworld is not a good one. And honestly, neither of the cores are. I guess Lesh is probably your best target, but it's a difficult one because TSM knows exactly what you're thinking. Right now, Gaimin Gladiators, they set up for a smoke, and they're probably looking to backdoor or to hit them from behind with a wraparound and kill the IO or the Lesh.
But Dubu, he's aware of it. He sniffs it.
He does, and he tanks it as well, which is the best thing you can do as Enchantress. Wolfbite has been committed to this. There's a reload coming in, however.
Whoa, Quinn!
And in the middle of the fight goes Quinn. The Pitamouse is good to stop Celery, but Boom rolling through everyone. Does he have a bonk spot? He does not. He actually just leaves the fight altogether. As the Sven did get hexed here, he couldn't really join him in time. There's two wolves in this fight, but they're also not doing anything. Duracho actually got hit by the export the spot. He does a BKB. Are they going to still try to fight this, Richie?
It looks like they will, at least for the kill into Dubu. Tofu will secure that. The run buff not kicking in there for the Bambi in time. And maybe Tofu just looking for that extra +1, the damage.
Oh, the poke.
Eye onto this IO as Bryle brought back. Ace doesn't have the shapeshift anymore. Neither does Duracho. No BKB, no God Strength, as Bryle will turn to the BKB of his own, but the force staff from Tofu gets him out of harm's way. Oh, Basher online for Boom. That's the jump. The Hex though for Duracho. He's still a little bit isolated. Stunned once, stunned twice, lifted and killed. He's dead for 90 seconds. No buyback.
Oh my god, and now Celery might actually lose his life as well, and he has no buyback either. He just used it. That's gonna be a dead Shen. We just need Lesh to get the last hit. Torrent for Vision. Actually, Celery, too fast. And then thanks to Tofu, he actually saves a supporting teammate. Boom, deciding he's gonna be the real carry, but he's stuck in the wrong spot. He uses the roll-up, but that's not the place you want to roll in. That Rolling Thunder got wasted completely. He still has a swashbuckle, though. Gets a bash onto Quinn.
He's got BKB up. That's another shapeshift from Ace, the second of this fight.
Yeah.
As Boom, a little bit disappointed. He's going to be disappointed to have Austin Powers himself there on the high ground, the one spot. It's a bit rough.
Honestly, the Gaimin Gladiators, they know when to fight, but their positioning is so difficult with all the zone up from TSM. And they want a bait, you know, usually use bait to catch fish. This time they caught a pig. That was much, much better for Quincy.
Yeah, and that's rush number 3. I mean, I almost nearly missed it. This one, of course, can have the Refresher Shard or the Aghanor's Blessing.
Yep.
Refresher Shard on this one, which is currently going to be left in the pit. Moon Meander's like, I guess I'll take it, guys. And keep an eye out for this little Wraith Pact in the fights, yeah? It's he's pretty good. Again, it's not a must-kill target, but with the amount of already, what is this? Yeah, percentage-based damage reductions they have. GG, I mean, it feels like even though this Sven, who has, mind you, pretty decent farm, he's starting to fall off a little bit, but again, with the amount of buffs that they have, he hits hard. Boom. It feels like he's just throwing, like, wet paper towels at people.
Yes. Or hitting them even. You know? And boom. At least he's capable to roll away. I feel like you need a godlike Rolling Thunder. Boom almost got in that team fight. But once again, there's so many things that need to be eliminated here from TSM's pool.
And after that fight, Avo, you know, it's level 25. The tri-level 25s now for the 3 TSM cores.
Oh, no.
Quinn has these Edict Explosions that just straight up good, right? More damage. Kunkka has gone for the Tidebringer cooldown.
Of course, it's
so down from 4 to 2. And with this build, oof, that's going to hurt.
And the Pit of Malice, extra time for the Underlord. Mate, this is a disgusting talent. If you ever played against Underlord in the late game, you just feel like you're in that pit forever. Bryle's actually going for, I mean, he's just Reaver right now. He's like, I need strength. Heart, Satanic, whatever. We'll see. Probably Satanic, I'd like to guess.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable. Overwhelming Blink, a possibility, but I think probably just the heart. Oh, Satanic, pardon me. It was his couriers in the Secret Shop, so now he's got a secondary Dispel for himself on top of this BKB, on top of his Basher.
Okay. I know, Gaimin Gladiators. What is going to be their plan for now is just going to be continuing the lane cutting. Perhaps Quinn is not a bait. It's not a bait. It is just everyone running for their lives. They find Celery. Oh, or maybe not?
No.
Celery actually jukes him in the trees. He is the king of the jungle. But unfortunately, a pirate kills him.
Pirate does kill him. No, unlike Captain Cook, he survives in the jungle.
Yes, he does.
Tofu. Oh, not the best flicker, but he still got force. Quinn eager to give chase, but bash there by Boom as Bryle going to shoot Radavato's projectile. Is going to whiff.
There's a Satanic for Timado.
Okay, that's a second Satanic. There's just so much farm on these cores. I mean, TSM.
How do you kill anyone, man?
The farm distribution is a thing of beauty as well, isn't it?
Like, Sven doesn't have enough damage. I really don't think he can kill anyone right now. Look at Timado. Oh, tickling him. I mean, I know this used to be Team Tickles, but that doesn't mean that's what you have to do to the enemy carry. They're just going to go for the racks right now.
A good one.
He does have the ball kitty level 25, like we mentioned, so these towers kind of melt against him.
There's no check for 40 seconds. In goes Boom. A second one for Quinn Belt. He's even got H for 2 minutes, but he's going to conserve it here with the BKB charge. Moon Meander healing him up as well with that mech. Boom doing what he can with this one. Duracho did get bit here, so he's going to try and go from the side. We'll see if we can get out of him.
There we go with a God Strength, but he's been hexed. And from Wolf to Pig, he has to now run away. Boom is covering from a bit. Boom just walked in the middle of the fight, and he died. They catch the real Wolf as well. Ace forced to activate BKB. Duracho's Wolf Bite is running out. Yule Scepter once again. Duracho's forced to activate the BKB, but he's been canceled for this whole fight. He's running out of the Wolf Bite. God Strength still up, but they're going to be kited. They just don't have a way to fight, honestly. No initiation.
It just feels impossible. I mean, especially with the Wraith packed down. I mean, you're doing 25% damage on Sven. 25 plus it's a crit, right? And being reduced by the atrophy aura, it is impossible. It is impossible
to deal any damage, to even go into the fight because they have so much control. And Duracho didn't want to commit the BKB in the beginning, as now they think they can kill Bryle.
Nope, think again.
As the Coddle does get hexed as well, they send him back. X marks the spot, and that's going to be Tofu dying. But he does have the buyback at very least. Lotus Orb also finished up on Dubu as well. That might surprise them towards this last fight as they're going for the throne, Richie.
Yes, they are. Bryle catches 2 here, Tofu. Having just bought back, but without Boom for 30 seconds. They're going to go ahead and bring back Celery, as he did respawn as well. Will be sent back in the fountain. Aggressive force set for Bryle. Can't kill him. Tomato as well. Going on to Ace's Duracho. Bit is just running around. Cannot find a target. Trying to get the cleave kill onto Dubu, but TSM will ignore him. Focus the throne, and it's GG who will capitulate in game 1.
Wow. TSM. You can take away their players, but you can't take away their win, apparently, as they take the first game against Gaming Gladiators and looking very good, honestly. If